everybody, Vagran Gaming here. Let's give you a little wave. No? There we go. Say hi, Masaki. So, as requested, Sharpshooter Gunslinger. Now, just to move things along, I'm just going to really quickly go over the utilities, and feel free to read them yourself after the fact. It's a perfectly simple thing to do. But just so I move things along so this doesn't get overly wordy. You can see pretty much everything selected there. Nice and easy. And the logic behind a lot of these is I want to get the most out of Hunker Down, and I want to get the most out of penetrating rounds. Because every time you use Hightail it as a Sharpshooter Gunslinger, you get a few seconds of Hunker Down, which is pretty handy. So, with this setup, we'll get a nice little speed boost when we use it if we have to break cover. And penetrating rounds will apply a slow and a knockback if they get too close. So, real quick, let's get right into it. I'm going to try to go through it full speed, and here we go. Alright, that was pretty much it. So, for those of you that just needed the quick rundown, hopefully you caught it in the caster bar there, and you have what you need. Now, for anyone else that wants a bit more exposition and a bit more of an explanation as far as what went down and why, well, let's get into it. So, the main feature, or one of the main features of Sharpshooter is Trick Shot. That's a big part of your damage. It's a wild follow-up shot, does weapon damage, and it's usable within 5 seconds immediately following a charged burst, aim shot, quick draw, or a complete penetrating rounds. And it requires both blasters. Although if you're a gunslinger running around with one blaster, oof, you got problems to deal with. So, the other quick thing that you want to keep in mind is if you fire 2 charged bursts consecutively, it will also end the cooldown of Trick Shot. And that's something that you could have probably observed. So I'm going to go through this nice and slow and explain what's going on. Vital Shot, as most of you know, applies marked. Damage taken from ranged attacks increased. It's a good way to start off. Second thing, penetrating rounds, it thunders their armor, which reduces it by 20%. So, you open up with that, you get your penetrating rounds, that triggers Trick Shot. Now if you just drop to the cover, that first charge burst would be an insta-cast. You get your second one, and there, Trick Shot's off cooldown. Bam. The other thing that you want to know is Smuggler's Luck increases the crit hit chance of your aim shot. And if you have your full set bonus, you should have 2 charges of it. So, let's pop in and cover here. Start it again. Get your penetrating rounds. Reset it with blaster volley. And I'm just kind of like flying through kind of sloppily here, just to give you the rundown. So now, before I hit aim shot, you want your Smuggler's Luck active, and then, bang, nice big hit. So, the major features, you're gonna be hitting penetrating rounds as often as you can. It's a nice ability, thunders armor. And if they're within 10 meters, it'll push them back, and regardless, it will apply up to 4 stacks of a slow if you can get off the full cast. Just hitting it there, so it stacks up to 4 times. Movement speed reduced. Doesn't last a super long time, but you hit burst volley, you can use it again. Now, a good friend of mine, Kadeth, he's in my guild, and he's been giving me a lot of advice. He tries to time it so that his burst volley can line up with his use of illegal mods, which increases range and tech accuracy by 30% and armored penetration by 15% for 10 seconds. If you pop your Hunker Down, hit your defense screen if you're under a lot of attack, you can do a lot of damage in that window. So, whenever possible, you want to try and line up these 2 together. Now, illegal mods has a longer cooldown, it's about 1.5 minutes, whereas burst volley is only 40 seconds. So what I try to do is time it out so that the second time I use a burst volley, illegal mods is ready. It doesn't always work because, you know, war zones can be quite hectic, but that's what I try to go for. Now, one of the other things that I like to do is I like to use hightail it sort of offensively, in a manner of speaking. See, whenever I use it, I get hunkered down for a couple of seconds. So that's a little bit of CC immunity. Doesn't last a super long time, but it's nice. The other thing is, when I use it, I get a little bit of a heal because of... where are you? Bait and switch. I get a heal for 10% of my maximum health. In addition, dodge lasts a bit longer, which is also really nice. So, say for example I'm firing away, I get my first one, roll, get a bit of a heal, instant cast, bang. Because you're going to be taking damage in a fight, and every, what's the cooldown on this bad boy? 20 seconds. Being able to get a bit of a heal every 20 seconds, it's not bad. So, when I can, I try to fire that off a lot. And then, you know, if you're really in a pinch, you get Bag of Tricks, which is something I need to do better at taking advantage of, because I've gone full matches where I'm like, oh right, Bag of Tricks. That could have saved my life. So, let's go through the rotation one more time, really slowly. We're going to start with our Vital Shot, Penetrating Rounds, and I'm going to combine illegal mods with Burst Volley. Of course, after my Trick Shot. There we go. Another Penetrating Rounds, another Trick Shot. We get both of our Charged Bursts. And because it's sort of off the cooldown, I kind of mash these in a different order every time, but after I hit that Trick Shot, I want that Smuggler's Luck active before I pop off my aim shot. And by the time that's done, you're ready to go again with Penetrating Rounds. And thanks to the set bonus, I have a second shot of Smuggler's Luck for after I get the next two charge bursts off. So that's just a basic rundown of how I've been handling it. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it. I was playing Virulence, kind of like a rudimentary kind of play style. I was mostly doing it for fun, and I figured, you know, I'll throw this up in case anyone else was curious about the spec. And some people came in the comment sections, and they had some really good suggestions on how to improve the damage output. And I tried it out, and I had some really good results. Just real quick, all this legacy-bound gear, that's all decent gear. I threw it into the mail, sent it to an alt, who's my Imperial Sniper, Veratrix, who's still set to Virulence. Now, the stats on this are mostly geared towards Sharpshooter. And in addition to that, his earpiece, his implants, his relics, complete garbage. I think I hadn't actually updated them since he was like level 50 or 55. So all that stuff was horribly outdated. That said, I was still able to crank out some pretty crazy damage. And a part of that was thanks to those awesome suggestions I got in the comment section. So if you guys are doing something different for Gunslinger, you've got some other ideas, your playstyle's a bit different and you think that works better, by all means, hit me up in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys are doing with Sharpshooter. One of the nice things about our community is, you know, we can exchange ideas. One guy thinks this works, another guy thinks that works, you know, and maybe a combination of the two works best for you as a player. You never know. So I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. So that's my basic rundown of Sharpshooter Gunslinger. Hope it was helpful. And irregardless of what classes you guys are playing, I hope you're having a lot of fun with them. So, if you feel so inclined, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time.